welcome to Hungover On Sports with me, Keith Allen, and my man, Joe Germany.
Hey, what's up?
We're going to talk about the various hot sports topics went on through the past week. Right now, we're going to go into some NBA action and things. My headphones sound crazy. The NBA playoffs in the second round of the Eastern Conference semifinals, where we got the Miami Heat taking on the Indiana Pacers. Joe, I know you got a take on that. I know you got an opinion on who you think is going to win the series or who you want to win the series.
Well, you know, as a through-and-through Cleveland fan, you know, I definitely want to see the Miami Heat out of the playoffs. But they're good. They're a great team, actually.
Very.
But Indiana might have a chance if their low post play can negate the speed and quickness of Miami's perimeter play.
Well, I think Indiana is going to have to turn it into a dog fight, basically.
That's what they're going to have to do.
They're going to have to really turn it into like a physical fest. But, you know, the league ain't going to have that.
Yeah, the NBA has gone soft. And
now, if this was like 1997,
you know,
they probably could get that off.
The Pacers coach got fined yesterday, $15,000, for saying that Miami is the #1 most floppingest team in the NBA.
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
If you notice, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, they do get a lot of phantom calls. And when they don't get those imaginary phantom calls, they complain a lot to the refs.
Well, you know, that's the 3-time MVP. No.
3-time MVP or not, I think the NBA should lay off on calling the game so tight and let the players play.
Well, my take is that Miami is going to beat Indiana in 5 games.
5 games. I say this series goes to 7 because you still got David West, Danny Granger, and George Hill. Although Miami has owned the Pacers in the regular season, the playoffs is a whole new season. And I think
that's true.
You know, I think the Indiana Pacers have seen the Miami Heat enough times where they know what's coming and they know how to attack them. And I think they're going to have a good game plan going into this series, and it'll be a challenging series for the Heat.
It will be a challenging series for the Heat. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to Boston and Philadelphia. And they started their series last night, and Boston came out on top by 1 point, 92-91. But Joe thinks here that Philadelphia.
Well, as you saw last night, in the press conference, Doc Rivers even said at halftime, he told his team that, you know, the Sixers were athletic and playing hard. And
they are athletic.
The Celtics had no chance to beat an athletic team that's playing harder than they are.
Right. And
the Sixers were up 13 points at the half. So I kind of blame, you know, their loss of the lead and that loss last night on inexperience, whereas the Celtics are a battle-tested veteran playoff team.
And I think, truthfully, in my opinion, I think Philadelphia's only chance really to actually win the series, to have a chance of winning the series, was to steal Game 1, because that would have been the game to get.
Well, you know, I still think they got a chance. Like I said, they're young and athletic, and the Celtics' only hope is Rondo. He controls the pace of the whole game. As you see, he had a triple-double last night, which was his 8th triple-double in the playoffs ever, which puts him up there. He's tied with Oscar Robinson for most triple-doubles in the playoffs.
Check out, I used to say the big 3 in Boston, but he's the big 1.
Right.
Now he's the big 1.
Right, with an aging Paul Pierce and an aging Kevin Garnett.
Right, and an aging Ray Allen.
And role players that aren't quite as good as the role players they had in playoffs past.
Yes. So I think Boston probably will take the series in 6 games.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the 76ers are going to advance to the Eastern Conference Championship.
Woo! You sure about that? You sure about that?
I'm not sure, but it's a good chance.
You got to be sure.
It's a good chance. It's a good chance it can happen.
We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to the Western Conference real quick, with OKC going against the Lakers in the rematch since the Ron Artest elbow that knocked James Harden out.
Oh, Meta.
Yes. It might be, hey, check out. It might be some fences put around in OKC on Monday.
What?
They fighting right now?
Oh, update is a fight in the Memphis and
Clippers series. Memphis LA Clippers series.
Game 7 in
Game
Memphis.
7.
So you know that series has been pretty testy with Reggie Evans being physical down in the post with Marc Gasol, and I think tempers have flared and people have finally got fed up.
Well, I think Memphis is going to win that game.
I think Memphis is going to win.
I think they're going to win that game. Yeah,
they've been in this position before last year when they beat the Spurs in the Game 7.
Exactly.
So
I think they're going to win that game.
They're a team that's been together,
battle tested.
They're battle tested. They have the experience. They beat the Spurs in 7 last year, and I think the Clippers. Blake Griffin is banged up. Chris Paul's groin is acting up.
Right. I think like this: if Chris Paul has a big game, and Blake Griffin and Reggie Evans can hit their free throws, the Clippers will have a shot. But Blake Griffin shoots 55% from the line.
I mean, that's what it's going to have to be. If Reggie Evans can be as active and rebound as he has been throughout the series.
Right, because he's been a thorn in Memphis.
Yeah, he has been a thorn in his side. The Clippers have a good chance of winning.
But I think Memphis is going to pull it out due to the home crowd.
I think Memphis has the better all-around team. They have better shooting on the perimeter.
And if Zach Randolph has a big game, Memphis is going to win.
Well, I think I think Mike Conley has to have a big game too, shooting-wise.
Yes, he does. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to the Lakers. Who you got in the Lakers OKC series real quick?
It's kind of hard to say, but I think the Lakers might take this series. Everybody's kind of, on the OKC bandwagon.
Yeah.
Because they're young and spry and they get up and down the floor. But if Kobe can get Bynum and Gasol motivated to play like they did last night in Game 7, where each had a double-double, those 2 7-footers would be hard to stop.
Yeah, but I think OKC is a little more physical than Denver was. Kendrick Perkins going to give Bynum more of a hard time.
I mean,
and Ibaka is going to give Gasol a hard time too.
I think they're a little more.
They're
a little more physical,
right?
But I don't think they can take 7 games of post play from 2 7-footers.
I don't know.
James Harden and Thabo Sefolosha will really have to come up big in this game.
Well, Artest better watch his back in OKC.
Well, that's Hungover on Sports. We'll be right back.